Good day to all science students. In this video lesson, we are going to tackle the sexual reproduction and meiosis. For a short review, meiosis contains two separate cell divisions, meaning that one parent cell can produce 4 gametes, eggs and females, sperm and males. In each round of division, cells go through 4 stages: the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Meiosis 1 is the first round of cell division in which the goal is to separate homologous pairs. As you can see in the figure, this is the prophase 1. Starting cell is diploid 2, n is equals to 4. Homologous chromosomes pair up and exchange fragments crossing over. So that's it has a unique characteristics because of the crossing over. Metaphase 1, homologous pairs line up at the metaphase plate, and anaphase 1, it separates to opposite ends of the cell. Sister chromatids stay together. And telophase 1, newly forming cells are haploid. Each chromosome has 2 non-identical sister chromatids. And in meiosis 2, the second round of cell division is meiosis 2, in which the goal is to separate sister chromatid. So in prophase 2, starting cells are the haploid cells made in meiosis 1. The chromosomes condense. And metaphase 2, chromosomes line up at metaphase plate. In anaphase 2, sister chromatids separate to opposite end of the cell. Telophase 2, newly forming gametes are haploid. Each chromosome has just 1 chromatid. Okay, these are the essential questions that we are going to answer here in our lesson. So number 1, can you explain the process of meiosis and its role in sexual reproduction? Number 2, what is the role of fertilization in sexual reproduction? And number 3, why is sexual reproduction important in the natural world? So let us define what is sexual reproduction. This is the combination of genetic materials from 2 parent cells to create a new individual. And then the definition of gametes, sex cells that combine to form a new offspring. So perpetuation of organisms. During the process of reproduction, the determinants of inherited physical characteristics, the genes, are passed on from parents to offspring. Prior to this, genes of the parents are replicated, forming another set of genes for the offspring. So that is the uniqueness of the new set of genes in the offspring because of the crossing over of the genes coming from the 2 parents. Okay, there are 2 types of reproduction. We have asexual and sexual. In asexual reproduction, all have one characteristics in common. A set of genes coming from only one parent is passed on to the new individual, resulting in the offspring having traits that are exactly like those of the parent. So yun ang isa sa katangian naman ng asexual. The traits of the parents is 100% the same with the offspring. So in sexual reproduction, 2 parents, male and female, are needed to produce an offspring. The female provides the egg cell while the male the sperm cell. Fertilization occurs when 2 sex cells successfully unite. A zygote that has the genes of both parents is then formed. Therefore, unlike in asexual reproduction, the offspring and sexual reproduction are not identical to the parents. So nagkakaroon nga ng uniqueness yung offspring in terms of sexual reproduction because of the crossing over of the genes coming from the 2 parents. The guide questions. Why is it important that gametes are genetically unique? Number 2, what happens when a sperm cell and an egg cell fuse? So what is the role of gametes in sexual reproduction? Number 4, what is the purpose of meiosis 1 and meiosis 2? So as you can see in this picture, please refer to the image below in answering the guide questions. So in the provided family picture, who do you think are the parents and who do you think are the offspring? So based on the picture, the 2 adult at the middle are the parents. The name of the parents are Ding Dong Dantes and Marian Rivera. They are famous celebrity here in the Philippines. And number 2, are there any visible physical resemblances shared between family members? Yes, the resemblance of the parents' faces are both recognizable in their offspring. Okay, the meiosis in males. The process by which sperm are produced in male animals is called spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis occurs in the testes, male reproductive organs, as illustrated in the figure at the right. A diploid cell first increases in size and becomes a large immature cell, germ cell. The large cell then undergoes meiosis 1. 2 cells are produced, each of which undergo meiosis 2 to form a total of 4 haploid cells. The 4 cells change in form and develop a tail to become male gametes called the sperm. So as you can see here in the figure, the spermatogenesis process, the diploid germ cell undergo the meiosis 1, immature sperm cell undergo the meiosis 2, undifferentiated sperm cells, and then the result, the gametes or the sperm. Okay, in female, we have the so-called oogenesis. The process by which gametes are produced in female animals is called oogenesis. Oogenesis summarized in the figure occurs in the ovaries or the female reproductive organs. Notice that during cytokinesis following meiosis 1, the cytoplasm divides unequally. So one of the resulting cells gets nearly all of the cytoplasm. It is this cell that will ultimately give rise to an egg cell. The other cell is very small and is called a polar body. The polar bodies degenerate after oogenesis. Okay, dito sa picture we have the diploid germ cell undergo the meiosis 1. We have the secondary egg cells in the first polar body, and in meiosis 2, undifferentiated egg cells, second polar bodies, all three will die. Ito, tatlong ito. And then the remaining one is the egg cell or the ovum. So a human sperm is a tiny cell with a tail. A human egg is much larger. Both cells are mature haploid gametes that are capable of fertilization. So meiosis is essential in sexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction, offspring receive half of their genes from one parent and half from the other. The genes are carried on chromosomes in sex cells, also known as gametes or egg or sperm cells, which fuse in fertilization. Each parent supplies half of the genetic information needed to form a complete individual. The sperm, which is the sex cell from the father, provides half of the information. The egg, which is the sex cell from the mother, provides the other half. So as you can see, for example, sa inyo na lang mapapansin niyo, you have a characteristics coming from your mother and a characteristic coming from your father, or half, because half of the genetic information has been carried both from the genes of your parents. So genetic information through meiosis. During fertilization, one gamete from each parent combines to form a zygote. Because of recombination and independent assortment in meiosis, each gamete contains a different set of DNA. This produces a unique combination of genes in the resulting zygote. So yung binanggit natin kanina na crossing over of the genes coming from both parents. Recombination and crossing over occurs during prophase 1. Homologous chromosomes, one inherited from each parent, pair along their lengths, gene by gene. Breaks occur along the chromosomes and they rejoin, trading some of their genes. The chromosomes now have genes in a unique formation or combination. So, sexual reproduction through pollination. Ito naman po, nangyayari ito sa plants. So, sexual reproduction requires genetic material from two parents. The parent plants have male and female sex cells called gametes. The genetic material from the male and female gametes combine to produce offspring. We call this process as fertilization. The products of sexual reproduction are seeds. Sa halaman, ang nabubuo naman po is seeds. Seeds produced through fertilization contain genetic material from both parents. As a result, the offsprings are not genetically identical to either of the parent plants. This genetic diversity can help them survive in the environment changes. Kagaya din po sa human and then sa animals, same with the plants, yung genetic material ng offspring are not genetically identical dun sa kanilang parent in terms of sexual reproduction because of the crossing over of the genetic material from two parents. This genetic diversity can help them survive in the environment changes, or the so-called adaptation, or we have the so-called the evolution in terms of the organism. Flowering plants reproduce sexually through a process called pollination. Flowers contain male sex cells, sex organs called stamen, and female sex organ called pestils. The anther is the part of the stamen that contains pollen. The pollen contains the male gametes. Pollen must be moved to a part of the pistil called the stigma for reproduction to take place. So ito po yung parts of the flowers, yung binabanggit natin kanina. So the outermost part of the flower are green structures called sepals. Yung nasa pinakababa po yun ng petals or doon sa bulaklak. They protect the flower before it opens. Inside the sepals are the petals. Yung nasa taas naman po ng sepals is yung petals. These are usually colorful, yung petals na tinutukoy natin. Petals on flowers are actually modified leaves. Within the petals are the stamen. Doon sa pinakaloob naman po ng taas ng isa petals, we have the stamen. So ito po yung sepal, itong kulay green na to. Ito, sepals. Paikot din po yan dyan. Kumbaga ito yung pinakasilbing nagpo-protect nga doon sa petals. Yung petals naman ito, itong colorful na to na part. At sa loob naman yung petals, we have the so-called stamen. So each stamen contains a filament topped by pollen producing cells. So ito yung stamen. Ito, pinag-close up lang po. So ang part naman ng stamen, we have anther, pollen, and filament. So each stamen contains a filament topped by pollen producing cells. The innermost part of the flower is the carpel. The carpel contains the ovary. Itong may bilog na ito. This is where the eggs or ovules are located. The pollen from another flower must enter the ovary and fertilize an ovule in order for a seed to start developing. So male gametophyte to the pollen grain. The male gametophyte develops and reaches maturity in an immature anther. It is in a plant male reproductive organs. Development of pollen takes place in a structure known as the microsporangium. The microsporangia, which are usually bilobed, are pollen sacs in which the microspore develop into pollen grains. These are found in the anther, which is at the end of the stamen, the long filament that supports the anther. So in microsporangium naman po tayo. Shown is the picture, cross-sectional picture of an anther at two developmental stages, the immature anther. Sa taas naman is contains 4 microsporangia or pollen sacs. Each microsporangium contains hundreds of microspore, mother cells that will each give rise to 4 pollen grains. The tapetum support the development and maturation of the pollen grains. Upon maturation of the pollen at the bottom, the pollen sac walls split open and the pollen grains the male gametophytes are released. The bee, in this case, in this scanning electron micrographs, pollen sacs are ready to burst, releasing their pollen grains. So the illustration shows the development of the male gametophyte within the anther. The process called microsporogenesis or male gametogenesis starts in the top left hand corner. Study these steps and be able to draw them. Red 2n or n notation indicate the ploidy of the nuclei, and blue notations show where the mitotic cell division occur. To this point, we've learned that mitosis starts with one diploid cell and results in 2 diploid cells. We'll modify that now to say that mitosis starts with a cell and results in 2 cells that are exactly copies of the original cell. If the starting cell is diploid, there will be 2 diploid copies. If the starting diploid cell is haploid, there will be 2 haploid copies. So the result of microsporogenesis shown on the picture row of the illustration is either a male gametophyte grain, that is a 2-celled pollen grain, with vegetative and generative cells, where the generative cell will later undergo another mitotic division to produce 2 sperm cells, shown to the right of the box, or following mitosis of the generative cell and shown to the left of the. Okay, the illustration below shows the development of the female gametophyte. A process is called megasporogenesis or female gametogenesis. So the chambers within the ovary are locules, and within the locules are the ovules. The ovule wall is made up of integument tissue, and it is from this integument tissue that diploid megaspore mother cell form. A diploid megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis and initially produces 4 haploid megaspores.